If you're just getting into carp fishing or you're confused about rigs, I've tied a rig up perfect for you. First of all, we've got a flying back lead on the line, and believe it or not, that goes on last because you can take it on and off the line as you need to use it. But if you're just getting into carp fishing, I'd recommend you get into using them, because when you cast out, they fly back up the line, pin the last bit down by the bottom, so there's no way the fish can come into contact with the line. And just above that, I've got a little tiny 4mm rubber bead that comes in the packaging with the Safe Zone flying back leads. That goes on before the tubing, and that stops the flying back lead sliding down the tubing and ending up next to the lead before you cast out, because if the two are sitting next to each other, they won't separate in flight. Then I've got about 18 inches, 45 centimetres approximately of rig tubing. I've cut the main line to a point with a pair of scissors to make it easy to thread it, never bite it and try and thread it through. And then the end of the tubing I've also cut to a point which makes it easy to push into that rubber connector. Now, a fatal mistake people make with these is they glue them at this point, and then when it's hitting the lake bed and it's in your bag and everything, it's working backwards and forwards, the glue makes it brittle and eventually it snaps off. You don't need to glue it because there's nothing to pull that out during the cast. And then the rubber connectors push nicely onto the end of the hard insert that comes out of the inline lead. I've cut that hard insert down a little bit so it all butts up nice and neat, so there's nothing for the hook link to catch on. And that's the beauty of all of our systems. You go from the tubing onto the rubber and then onto the lead system with no lip, no edges for the hook link to catch on, and that's what's going to stop the rig tangling. It's a 2-ounce square pair inline lead that will cast as far as you need to when you're starting your fishing, and I've got a size 8 ring swivel pulled into the nose of the lead. There's a special hard insert goes right through the middle, and it's just big enough at the front to pull that swivel into, so you simply can't do it wrong. I've got a 12-pound IQ soft hook link, but to be honest, you could use a line on the reel. 10 or 12-pound line straight off the reel would do exactly the same job. And what you want to be spending your money on when you first get into rigs is hooks. Make sure you're changing your hook all the time, because a sharp hook is going to get you more bites than anything else. This is a size 8 wide gape. It's my favourite one in the whole range. Obviously, if your barbarous rules apply, you want a wide gape B. And I've just tied a loop for my hair, then threaded on a little tiny bit of our 0.5 silicone tubing, and that basically holds the hair up the hook, so it's leaving the hook somewhere near the bend. And what that does is it makes the point of the hook heavy, and it will turn and catch hold when it goes in the fish's mouth. It's tied on with a knotless knot, which is really easy to tie. And the addition I've made to this one after fishing with Adam Penning is I've done a single turn around the knot when I'm going back down before I go through the eye, just to lock everything in place so the knot can't expand and contract while you're playing a fish. And that's what makes hook links like this snap, is that knot expanding and contracting. Doing that bit round the outside stops that happening. It's probably 6 inches long, 15 centimetres. This is to be used on a hard bottom, so there's no weed around. If there was weed, I'd extend it a little bit. And I've got one of the 12mm dumbbells on there, one of the new mainline dumbbells, and I'd couple that with a nice PVA bag, which I'm going to hook on now for you. There we go. Little tiny funnel web bag. Anything more than that is a waste. I've looped to loop the hook link onto that size 8 ring swivel, so I can unloop it if I want to take it off, or just loop another one straight on again if I want to cut it. And that's basically it. An inline rig that you could fish anywhere. Really easy to use. No super glue required. Only a few components, and that will catch fish on any water.